Is this world real or merely an apparition? Is the life we are living a solid reality or a passing dream? From ancient times to the present, countless philosophers and sages have wrestled with the reality of the world. Long ago, Zhuangzi dreamt he was a butterfly. Upon waking, he wondered whether he was a man who had dreamt of being a butterfly, or a butterfly now dreaming he was a man. That famous tale still invites us to ask, perhaps this life, too, is but a dream within the mind. Today, the same question returns in a different form. Neuroscience suggests that what we call reality is not simply out there, but largely constructed by the brain. Scientist Anil Seth calls our lived experience a controlled hallucination. The brain constantly predicts, stitches, and paints the world we take to be real. In other words, each of us inhabits a version of reality co-created by the mind. Recall a dream. In it we meet loved ones. Love and sorrow feel utterly real. Only upon waking do we realize it was mind-made. The Buddha likened worldly life to just that, a dream, an illusion, bubbles, and a reflection of the moon in water, fragile as a dream, as soap bubbles, as moonlight on a lake. One scripture says, the small world and the great world are like realms in a dream. If all things are dreamlike, then where does truth reside? Perhaps mind is the very source that decides what is real or illusory. If so, by seeing the mind clearly, we may understand all phenomena. That is our journey today. First, we must acknowledge, there are domains words cannot reach. The image of Shakyamuni Buddha holding up a flower and smiling, the flower sermon, symbolizes wordless transmission. Language is a wonderful tool, yet limited, especially with the subtle truths of mind and reality. As tradition says, the way that can be spoken is not the eternal way. The Dharma cannot be fully captured in words. Just as the sweetness of sugar must be tasted, 1,000 descriptions cannot replace direct experience, so too with the mind. Theory alone is insufficient. Direct realization is required. Words are merely a finger pointing to the moon. We must look along the finger to see the moon. If we fixate on the finger, cling to words, we never behold the moonlight itself. At Vulture Peak, the Buddha once simply held up a lotus and remained silent. Thousands were perplexed. Only Mahakāshyapa smiled. The Buddha then entrusted him with the treasury of the true Dharma eye, a mind-to-mind transmission without a single word. This story epitomizes Chan Zen's spirit, a special transmission outside the scriptures, no reliance on words and letters. The deepest truth of mind is not reached by language, but by direct awakening. Even philosophers and poets sense the limits of language. Laozi begins the Tao Te Ching, the way that can be spoken is not the constant way. A playful verse says, you speak and still miss, you don't and that won't do. So speak into the deep, perhaps one kindred will see. Truth when spoken is rarely exact, yet silence leaves many lost. Thus we borrow words as pointers, hoping the receptive may see. The theme, mind alone gives rise to the myriad dharmas, truly lies beyond language, yet we must still use language to gesture toward it. Knowing these limits, we listen with less fixation on words and more attentiveness to our own mind. With that spirit, we ask, why say mind alone gives rise to the myriad dharmas? This is a contemporary phrasing of Mahayana thought. In the Avatamsaka, Flower Ornament Sutra, and Yogic Consciousness Only philosophy we find, the three realms are only mind, the myriad dharmas are only consciousness. Elsewhere, all is mind-made. Simply put, every phenomenon bears the imprint of mind. The world we see, hear, feel, from mountains and rivers to notions of good, evil, beautiful, ugly, reflects the mind. Here, mind is not mere narrow thought, but the entire stream of mentation, including subconscious layers and the alaya vijnana, the storehouse of seeds in Yogacara. In plain terms, the mind is like a projector. The world of phenomena is the film on the screen. The joy or sorrow, hues and storylines largely depend on the real within, the mind. This may sound abstract, yet it is our daily experience. Phenomena have no fixed essence of good or bad. It is the mind's projection that colors them. One and the same rain. A farmer with a grateful heart sees life-giving water. Rain as wholesome dharma. A sorrowful person feels it as gloom. Rain as melancholy dharma. Rain is still rain, but different minds yield different worlds. Thus, the myriad dharmas are mind-made. Western thought offers parallels. The 18th century philosopher George Berkeley declared, "To be is to be perceived." Matter truly exists only when apprehended by consciousness. its independent existence cannot be proven. Put bluntly, without mind, what universe is there? If no one knows or feels, what meaning can things have? Though East and West differ in method, they meet in recognizing the primacy of cognition, mind, in shaping reality. Science too discerns the observer's interplay with the observed. In quantum physics, observations can alter outcomes. Some hypotheses even suggest consciousness as foundational, though debates continue. As Anil Seth notes, the reality we experience is partly a brain-made illusion. When many concur in the same illusion, we call it shared reality. Hence, mind alone gives rise to the myriad dharmas is not mere mysticism. It succinctly names the intimate relationship between observer, mind, and observed, dharma. We might also say, mind is a mirror, myriad things are the reflections. Without the mirror, there is no image. A warped mirror yields a warped image. A clear mirror, a clear image. All that we see and hear bears the trace of mind. Understanding this foundation, we seek less outside and turn inward to the mind, the source of all feeling about the world. As the saying goes, outside the mind there is no dharma. Apart from dharmas, there is no mind. Mind and phenomena co-arise and are not separate. Therefore, to comprehend the myriad dharmas, look into this very mind. Mind gives rise to all phenomena, can be understood thus. The mind is a mirror, and all things are merely reflections within it. Without the mirror, there is no image. A distorted mirror yields distorted images. A clear mirror reveals things clearly. Everything we see and hear bears the imprint of mind. Understanding this, we cease searching for truth outside and turn inward to observe the mind itself, the source of all perception and feeling. Scripture declares, outside the mind there is no dharma. Apart from dharmas there is no mind. Mind and phenomena arise interdependently, inseparable. Thus, to comprehend all dharmas, one must first see the mind clearly. Bodhidharma once said, to seek the truth, look within your own mind. In other words, to know the mind is to know reality. When we understand how the mind functions, we understand why we see the world as we do and what the true nature of existence is. Test this in your daily life. When the mind is calm and open, the world appears bright and gentle. When the mind is restless and anxious, the world turns gray and heavy. The joyful see blossoms bloom, the sorrowful see petals fall. The Buddha taught, as the mind is, so the world appears. A tranquil mind brings a harmonious world. A chaotic mind sees turmoil. The outer world is nothing but a mirror of the inner world. Modern psychology agrees that perception shapes reality. This is called confirmation bias, the tendency to notice and remember only what confirms our existing beliefs. The pessimist perceives only suffering and thus strengthens the belief that life is misery. The optimist sees beauty and deepens faith that life is still good. In short, we do not see the world as it is, we see it as we are. In the field of artificial intelligence, there is a saying, give me enough of your data and I can draw the glasses through which you view the world. Indeed, each of us wears a unique pair of mental lenses. The tint of those lenses colors the entire universe we behold. Turning inward to observe, we begin to notice the subtle tricks the mind plays in constructing the world. It loves to label, friend or foe, good or bad, and then clings to those labels as if they were truth, breeding attachment and aversion. If we pause long enough to see this process clearly, we realize those labels are mental fabrications, not absolute realities. Practicing mindfulness and awareness amid daily life helps reveal the living link between mind and phenomena. When anger arises, pause and contemplate. Where does this anger come from? Is it because my mind clings to the wish that things be otherwise? If we release that wish, the mind settles and the situation loses its sting. When the mind shifts, the world shifts with it. All phenomena arise from mind, and only through mind can they be transformed. The Avatasaka Sutra compares all existence to Indra's net of jewels. Each consciousness is a jewel reflecting countless others. To understand one mind is to understand all minds. To see one grain of sand is to see the entire cosmos. The enlightened one is simply one who has seen the nature of mind, and thereby understood the nature of all dharmas. A classic story tells of Huika seeking instruction from Bodhidharma. The master said, "Bring me your mind, and I will set it at peace." Huika searched within but could not find the mind. "I have sought it and cannot find it," he confessed. Bodhidharma replied, "Then I have already pacified your mind." In that instant of looking and not finding, Huike awakened, realizing the mind is formless, intangible, and illusory. If mind is thus, where can phenomena adhere? From then on, he saw all things as suchness itself, free of mistaken appearances. The commentary states, outside mind, no dharma, outside dharma, no mind. The great world and the small world alike are dream realms. All dreams arise from one's own mind. Indeed, ponder deeply, and life appears as a long dream. Everything we see and feel is painted by the mind, then mistaken for reality. Zen master Zhongfeng once said, "My mind is Amitabha, my mind itself is the pure land." When the mind manifests, consciousness transforms. The true mind, its essence, unfolds as a pure universe. The deluded mind, filled with distinctions, weaves countless differences. Should we awaken to the original mind, like a sleeper awakened from a dream, we realize with wonder, all beings and things are none other than ourselves. Seeing flowers bloom or the moon shine, we no longer feel apart. The flower and I share one awareness. The moon and I spring from one mind. This is the ultimate realization. To see the mind is to see all dharmas. As one turns inward, a profound truth emerges. The mind we seek is empty, elusive, without any fixed essence. This may seem contradictory. Have we not spoken of the mind's great importance? Yet its emptiness is precisely its ultimate nature. Emptiness does not mean non-existence. It means lack of inherent, unchanging self-nature. The mind is like a river, ceaselessly flowing and transforming. There is no solid mind we can point to and say, this is it. Nagarjuna wrote, "The mind is like space, possessing nothing. Space pervades all, yet has no form. You cannot say it exists like a thing, nor that it does not exist, for it is ever present yet formless. So too, mind pervades all experience, but when we search for it, it cannot be found. Close your eyes and look within. Where is your mind? In the head? Open the skull and you'll find only gray matter, no thoughts, no feelings, no memories falling out. Joy and sorrow arise and pass away, impermanent, ever-changing. Nothing abides as a fixed mind. Then what is mind? A stream of consciousness? But each moment differs from the last. Where then lies its true nature? The nature of mind is emptiness, the absence of self-identity. The true mind is clear as space. Its thoughts are clouds passing by, its emotions waves upon water, none with lasting substance. The story of the bell in the mist. At dawn, mist blanketed the temple courtyard. The abbot gathered the monks and pointed to the great bell. "Who will awaken the mountain?" he asked. An elder monk stepped forward, struck the bell, and chanted, "The mind, like the bell, rings clear when polished. Day and night I labor, its sound resounds through heaven and earth." The bell's echo rolled across the valley, and the crowd rejoiced. Then a humble traveler, sheltering at the temple, stepped out. He bowed and recited, "No bell, no sound its own, no sound, no echo known. Merely causes meeting. When they part, the wind is gone." The courtyard fell silent. The abbot smiled. "This man has awakened the mountain." The first verse still clings to a solid mind to be cultivated. The second breaks that attachment, seeing that bell, striker, hand, air, and listener are but interdependent conditions. When causes gather, sound arises. When they part, silence returns. Mind is the same. What we call mind, calm or restless, pure or defiled, has no independent essence. To grasp a fixed mind is like trying to hold the echo after the bell has faded. Impossible. Because the mind has no self-nature, afflictions have no roots. They arise when conditions converge and fade when conditions cease. Seeing this, we stop wrestling with them. We simply recognize their dependent nature and release. Embedded parable, the bell in the mist. At dawn, the abbot pointed to the great bell. "Who will awaken the mountain?" A senior monk struck the bell. Its peal rolled through the cliffs. A rustic guest then recited, "No bell, no sound itself. No sound, no echoes ring. Mere meeting of hollow causes, part, and the winds fall still." Within the story itself we glimpse dependent origination. Bell, striker, hand, space, listener. When conditions gather, sound appears. When they disperse, silence returns. So too with mind. What we call mind, calm or restless, pure or defiled, is not a fixed entity, but a process of conditions. To grasp a fixed mind is like trying to hold the echo after it has faded. Impossible. To say, mind is empty, does not deny awareness. Mind still knows and illumines, yet there is no fixed knower behind knowing. The I is a provisional construct woven from many processes, no permanent soul to cling to. This accords with anatta, non-self. A person is the composite of the five aggregates: form, feeling, perception, formations, consciousness. With no enduring me inside, selfishness softens and fear recedes. Death is the dissolution of aggregates, not the annihilation of a self. At depth, mind is a bottomless mirror, reflecting myriad forms while itself formless. Realizing this emptiness is liberation. Craving and aversion lose their purchase. As the teaching goes, by understanding emptiness, all dharmas are understood. Seeing the mind as empty, all phenomena are empty, nothing to grasp, nothing to hate, and the gate of nirvana opens in one lucid breath. If mind creates all phenomena is misunderstood, one may fall into nihilism, wishful idealism, or egocentric subjectivity. In truth, consciousness only does not deny the world. It reveals where transformation is possible, in the mind itself. The first misconception equates mind only with ego only, believing only my mind is real. But our experience arises interdependently, within a web of countless minds and causes, shared karma, social and physical conditions. Seeing thus, genuine mind only awakens compassion and responsibility, for the suffering of others is real within their experience, and we are part of its conditions. The second misconception turns it into mere positive thinking, as if thoughts alone could rewrite reality. The mind is powerful, but the law of cause, condition, and effect remains impartial. Right intention must be joined by right action. No seed, no fruit, no harvest from daydreams divorced from effort. The third is to fall into nihilistic passivity. If all is empty, why act at all? But shunyata, emptiness, means freedom from fixations, not meaninglessness. Precisely because nothing is fixed, virtue and compassion flow unhindered. Seeing all dharmas as empty, one acts not from greed or fear, but from wisdom and love, calmly, lightly, naturally. The fourth error is clinging to mystical states, pursuing visions, sensations, or spiritual highs and mistaking them for awakening. All states are conditioned and impermanent. The stable path is sila, samadhi, prajna, morality, concentration, wisdom. Meditate to see clearly, gain insight to transcend appearances. Do not worship experiences, nor craft a spiritual ego upon them. And one may ask, if life is a dream, why bother with ethics? Precisely because it's a dream, every thought is precious. A kind word, an honest act, a moment of restraint, each is a wholesome seed that lightens the dream. Karma in the dream remains exact as time itself. Plant wisely, reap wisely. To keep precepts is to maintain the right conditions for a bright mind and a lighter life. Thus use mind only as a map, not as a talisman. Before saying the world must change, look at your mind. Before acting, examine causes and consequences. After acting, reflect. Does it benefit self and others? This is the path of balanced wisdom and mindfulness, grounded in the soil of dependent origination. Seeing the mind clearly is not escaping life, but being free within it, walking lightly yet firmly. The light of awareness ever shines, silent and steady. All answers lie already within the heart. When we ask, is the world real or illusion, we are truly asking, what state of mind gives rise to this world? To understand all things, we must understand the mind itself. Mind creates all dharmas. To see the mind is to see all reality. And to see the mind, there is no way but self-contemplation, pratyatmavedya, turning the light inward. We chase truths outside, books, doctrines, experiences, yet the farther we seek, the farther we drift from the pure heart within. As the ancients said, after 10,000 miles, one returns home. At journey's end, we realize the home of truth has always been the mind itself. When Master Huineng awakened, he exclaimed, "How unexpected! My true nature is pure from the very beginning. How unexpected! My true nature is complete in itself." The treasure was never lost, only veiled by restlessness. Pause, close your eyes, and look within. Who is hearing these words? Who is thinking now? Look directly at that mind. At first, it seems a storm of thoughts and feelings, but with patience and mindfulness, it settles, clear and bright as a mirror. Then the original face reveals itself, the face you had before birth and death. When that is seen, the title becomes clear. To see the mind is to see all phenomena, for with one inward step, the whole universe awakens. When the mind is luminous, all dharmas shine. Mind and world are not two. A verse expresses this. The eye beholds a flower, and the flower glows. The silent mind illumines, and all things are wondrous. Mind and flower, one essence, not two. To see the myriad dharmas is to see within oneself. Smile gently. All the wonders you seek have never been elsewhere. They dwell, ever radiant, within the light of your own mind. Whether the world be real or illusory, it remains the playground of the mind. And the mind, when seen clearly, is itself the miracle. Seeing the mind, seeing all phenomena, isn't some abstract doctrine. It's a daily way to live. The outer world mirrors the inner one. When your mind is clear, life feels clear. When your mind is tangled, everything looks tangled. So the first job is to clarify the mind. Dependent origination and emptiness, they just mean nothing stands alone and nothing is fixed. Empty doesn't mean meaningless, it means free from clinging. The path is simple, sila samadhi prajna. Keep wholesome conditions, ethics, rest in steady, bright awareness, concentration. Then you naturally see how everything interrelates. Wisdom. Karma is precise. Plant wholesome thoughts, words, and deeds, and the dream of life gets lighter. And always, turn the light inward. Before trying to change the world, check your intention. After you act, ask, did that benefit me and others? Practice right now. Pause for one mindful breath before you reply to anyone. Ask yourself, does this intention widen my heart or shrink it? Then plant one small good seed every day, small but consistent. Bottom line, when the mind is luminous, all things shine. No miracle needed. Seeing the mind is the miracle.